Hi, I'm Paul Seal from cochair.co.uk. Welcome to episode 11 of this second series that I'm doing on how to build a website with Umbraco. We're using Umbraco 7.6.5. If you've not seen any of the other episodes, you might get something out of this episode individually, but you also might benefit from watching the whole course. So what we're going to do then today is we're going to wire up the fixed background image section. So when I talk about that, that is this bit here on the template. So if you notice that the background stays fixed, the image does, and then we've got some content in here and a link. So we're going to wire this up for it to work on all the pages. So to do that, we're going to create a new composition document type for the fixed background image block. We're going to use that composition on other document types such as content and home. We're going to edit the partial view to render the properties from these fields, and then we're going to fix bugs along the way as we do on all the episodes. So whenever I've got any issues, rather than just trying to show that everything worked perfectly, I try and let you see what could go wrong and how to fix those. So let's get started then. What we're going to do is go straight into the settings, document types, compositions, and create ourselves a new composition. And we're going to call this fixed background image block. Spell it correctly. Add a new tab, and I'm just going to do fixed image block. I'm going to add some properties. So first property is obviously the image. So fixed image. Choose an image to show in the background of this block. And as it's all to do with an image, what I think we should do is make sure that that will be mandatory. But before we do that, we choose Media Picker, click on Field is mandatory, and then Submit. So after that, what else is there involved? So we have a title. Let's just inspect this. So we've got a title. We've got a paragraph, and then we have a link. So let's do that in here. So we'll do fixed image block title. Enter a title for the fixed image block. And we'll just reuse the text string for that. I won't make it mandatory. I know maybe I could, maybe I should. But maybe you just want content, or maybe you just want a link. So I'm just going to let the user decide on that. So fixed image block, and we'll call this content. So this will, so enter the content to show in the fixed image block. Add an editor for that, reuse, and we'll reuse the rich text editor in there. Submit that, and then finally we'll do the fixed image block link. Enter a link for the fixed image block. Add the editor, reuse, and we'll do related links. And submit that. Okay, so there are all the controls that we need for this composition document type. And then what we need to do is use those on here. Oh, before we do that, we just need to go, if we reload compositions and find the one, and then do reorder. This would probably be middle order towards the end. So I'll change that to a 7. So that way the tab that it creates for fixed image block will be pushed towards the end, middle or end. So let's go into content, compositions, and we'll just tick that. Submit and save. Same again on home. Submit and save. I'm going to do it on all 4 of these ones. Right. So now we've got those on there. The next thing to do is to work on the partial view. So let's go to the partial view. So what do we have currently? So we have image background. So this is the one. And at the moment, I believe it is putting the image in using CSS. So let's have a look at that. So yeah, here we have it. So section class wrapper style 3 special has got a CSS rule for a background image, and it's using images pick05. So all we want to do is we want to do an inline style that is dynamically set, and we also want to take it out of the CSS as well. So first thing to do then is to take it out of the CSS. So let's go into the CSS folder, get the CSS file, main, and we're looking for the rule around style 3. Okay, so we need to edit the CSS, and what I can see what it's doing is it's applying a linear gradient as well as setting the image. So it's a little bit more complicated than just setting the image path. But I'm going to comment out this and save, and then what I want to do is, instead of using a linear gradient, we can use the image cropper that we have on our thing, which also can control the brightness of the image. So this is to allow for the text to actually be shown. So instead of doing it like this, we're going to do it slightly different with a query string to say brightness and then set it to something like -30. So if we go into here and we just start off with saying background image, so we do style equals background image, and then just for a start, let's just pick an image. Well, we can actually use their image. So I'm going to get the image that they are using by clicking on it there, opening new tab. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to put that into my build. I'm going to say URL like that. So I've put the full URL of that image that they're using in there. I've taken off the style to render that image. So let's have a look at how that looks now. So if we go to Isle of Lashes on the local version and we refresh that, we'll be able to see how it looks now. That's before we've done anything dynamic to pull through those values, but just addressing this image. So it's working, and as you can see, the difference here. So this image looks duller on there. This one, it sort of interferes with the text. So that's a good example of why we need to do this. So one thing that I do on my website, codeshare.co.uk, is I just add a query string on the end to change the brightness. So all we need to do here is just do, we could put this image on our site. So let's try this then. So we're going to just copy that address. This is a good thing about Umbraco. So demo images, I'm just going to click here to choose files. I'm just going to paste this file name in there. So what that's done is downloaded the file from the server that's hosting Pixelarity, got the file locally to me, and then it's picked it from my local directory and uploaded that into the website then, all from just using the file, the browser path. So click on that image, that's fine. Let's just have a look at that. Yeah, so it's in there. So now that we have that in there, we can actually just say test fixed background. So we've got that image there, and let's use that image on, say, the home page. So we're going to fixed image block, and then we'll do demo images, pick that image and submit, save and publish that. So now that we have that image, we can play with this and we can apply the query string on the end of it. Because when I was looking at this here, I can't apply the query string on it because it's not running through the handler on this website, this image isn't, but now that it is on the website, I can get the property of that image and then run that on there. So where we've done getting the images before, like on the intro, I'm just going to use some of the code that I did there. I'm just going to copy that. So this is the code that does main image URL. If the content item that we're on has got the property of main image, then set the main image URL to be the get property value as an iPublish content, because that's how you get the images nowadays on these versions of Umbraco, and then get the URL of it. And as you can see here, we're setting a width and a height to it as well. So if we go back into image background content, put a code block there, and we're not going to call it main image URL, we're going to call it fixed image URL. I'm just going to copy that into there, and I need to get the property, so fixed image block title. So for the naming convention that they use within Umbraco, it should just be like camel case, so it would be lowercase f and then all the other words start with a capital letter. So I can just fixed image block, fixed image it should just be. And then I won't put the query string on to start with, but we'll just get it working within Umbraco from the value that we've picked. And then if we just give that home page a refresh, so it should still be the same image, but instead of it coming from pixelarity, it comes locally. And now, as usual, there is an error. So it's still trying to get it from there, which is interesting. Oh, and that is interesting because I didn't actually do anything. I didn't put that value in there. So if I do fixed image URL in there, and I put it in rounded brackets so that it's just going to insert that value from that and not interfere with the markup or anything like that. So that's working now. I think it wasn't working a minute ago because I temporarily lost the internet connection. Right, so that's working and that's hosted locally, and we can inspect that and we can see that the background image has been set on there and it's coming from the media from the site that we're on. So that's good. So now we can apply the query string and we can just say question mark brightness equals -30, and then we'll save that and let's refresh. Does it like it? No, it doesn't. So open that image, copy link address, and we can do that in a new tab because it's got the domain with it as well. Right, so it doesn't like it because I can't spell. If I could spell, it would like it. No, doesn't like that either. What do I do on codeshare.co.uk? Brightness equals -30 as well. So I'm not sure what the problem is here, but seems to be a problem. So if I'm having this problem, you might not. You might have this problem as well. So maybe this is to do with image cropper having some configuration settings that allow certain actions like the width and the height to be set. So if we go into this solution, we go into config, image processor, not image cropper, sorry. So really what we're looking for is a file called processing.config. So let's just have a look, see if that exists. Oh, right. So it is in there. So it's in config, image processor. Strange that it didn't show up for me. If I just click on that, and what config folder did I go in them? I'm not sure. Maybe I was just looking at the files. So it is there. So it's config, image processor, processing.config, and I want to allow the brightness. So I can just do enabled equals true. So let's give that a try now. So hopefully that's all it was, just to fix that. Brilliant, it's worked. It's got a duller image now, so that we can go into the image background content and we can put the T in there because I missed that off. And we can go to the page, refresh that, and then fingers crossed it will just work. Yes, so it has worked. And is it duller? Is that the right effect? Is that what we want? Maybe we could change that to -50. So I can inspect that. Edit as HTML, maybe change it to -50. And maybe this isn't the effect that we need. Right, so it has gone darker. So it could be the effect we need, but maybe we need a different effect. Maybe there is something like the blur, or I don't know, maybe I should just leave it as -30. I think I will. Just refresh that again. The main thing is that the text is visible, and it is. You can have a play with that, so you can see the other settings on here as to what you might be able to do. And I think if we go to, so if we go to image processor, examples, we've got resize. So we've got all of these on here, so we can look at the brightness like we were doing, so that makes it brighter. Filter perhaps. So there's all these different filters. Maybe we just need something like that. You know, there's lots of choice that you can do and play about, and that's how you enable them. And then you just use the query strings to do that. So that URL is imageprocessor.org, image processor-web, image processing module, and then whichever. I'll leave a note in the, I'll leave the URL in there for this, so I'll probably do it to that point there, and then you can play about with that and you can see how to enable them, etc. Right, so that's the image, so that's good. Then we need to just do the same as we've done on other ones like this, so probably the intro is a good one to go back to. So the related link, let's just copy that block that we put on the related link, and I'll just talk through it just in case you're not watching one of the, you've not done it before. So what it does is it gets the, a list of related links. I think I might need to just use these models. So that will light up these then. So I just needed to reference those. I'm just going to hide that and hide that. So yeah, we've got this related link. Basically, it's like a list of related links where it's got this property. So we need to make sure that we're using the correct property name. So if we go into here, so it'll be fixed image block title. So fixed image block title. And then we're just saying title link, blah, blah, blah. So again, from the intro, where we use that title link is just literally title link and then class button big and title link caption. And we've got an if check to say if the title link isn't null. So what I'm going to do is just copy that. I'm going to put that in here. I'll do it after the footer. So this is essentially the same thing. I just want to make sure that the markup is exactly the same, and it's class button big and everything is all the same. So I'm going to delete that element there that was the hard-coded one from the template and just replace it with that. And we can see that in action if I add a link in there. So we'll just say get started. And then maybe I'll just point it to a local page. So choose internal page, click on choose, and I'll just make it go to hello world. Add Now that is annoying. So that is a bug in Umbraco that sometimes when you click on add, it saves. And I don't know why. And then you just have to refresh the page, go back down to the property and do it again. Fixed image block. And this time when you do it, it will just work, I think. So I don't know why that is, how to fix it. It's hard to replicate. It doesn't always happen. Now it's worked properly. Just do save and publish now, and that'll work. So again, that's a bug that you might come across, but at least you've seen how to. It's not really fixing it, but you can see that reloading and trying again, and it will work. So if we refresh the home page now, we should see the link should be there, and it isn't there, so I must have done something wrong. So actually I was doing it wrong. It's not fixed image block title, it's fixed image block link. So I'm looking at entirely the wrong property, but at least it didn't fall over when I was targeting that property. So after looking into that, I can clearly see that's the one that we need. So Control-Shift-B, Control-Shift-S to save all, Control-Shift-B to do a rebuild, go on the front page, fingers crossed, and it works, and it's got the link to the local page. So that's good. And then finally we just need to hook up the title and the content. So again, I'll probably use the one on intro. So we've got umbraco.field, so we put that here, and instead of page title it is going to be the fixed image block title. So replace the word link there with title, and it's wrapped in H2s, not H1s. Again, you can do this on the insert before and after like this, or you can actually, let's just do it without on this one. You can just put them inside an H2. Maybe, I think I might have said this before, but maybe it is better doing it this way, because then at least you're not left with an empty H2 tag when the value doesn't exist. So I'm going to leave it like that, insert before and after. And then I'll just get the content part. And in here, I think it is called fixed image block content. So click on that padlock, that selects that. And I'm not going to do a before and after, I'm just going to leave it at that. And do a build. I don't need to build because this is server side. These are client side HTML files basically. So they don't need to be rebuilt. So we'll give it a refresh. So they should go empty. So it's actually brought in home. So I must have left, so I left the alternate field alias. I'm going to delete that because we don't want that to happen. Refresh that. So now what we should have is just the link. So if you wanted to, you could just have just the link. So that's good. So let's fill that in. And fix image block. So order some, maybe this could be about ordering some products. So buy your products from us. We buy eyelash tools and accessories in bulk, so you can buy them from us. And then edit this to say buy now. Buy now. Click on save, save and publish, and you'll find that that is everything hooked up now. Buy your products from us, we buy blah blah blah, buy now. That clicks through to the form. which you would then fill in your details and go off to pay and blah blah blah. So we might hook up a payment form on here that will link to PayPal. I'm not necessarily promising that that's going to be part of this just because of the PayPal details and things like that. But if I find that I can do that, I might do the extra video anyway. So it's best to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see that, if I turn it into a video, you'll get to see it because you've subscribed. It won't necessarily be part of this playlist. So that's it really. So that's done everything we needed to on that partial view there. We've got it all hooked up and ready to go. So I'm just going to close all documents and save and check that in. So I like to check in using SVN. So I'm just going to say finished episode 11. So I've got clear points if I want to, I can go back to the end of each episode if I need to. So I can't give you any of the code from here just because Pixelarity, who I used for the template, say that it's fine for me to do the videos and things like that, but I'm not allowed to share their code or their markup or anything, the files. So even though you've seen the markup and things like that, that's okay, but I can't send it on to you. So some people have asked for it. So I'm sorry, I can't send that to you. If you've been following along but not done the template, it might be worth doing the template. I think it was $19, and the amount of templates keeps going up. Let's just have a look how many you get now. So codeshare.co.uk/pixelarity will take you directly to it. And on there are 98 templates now for just $19. And when I log into there, I can access all of those templates for the time that I'm a member. So if I want to, I can download all 98, let my membership expire, and I'm free to use those as and when I want to. So I might not even use it for a year or more later down the track. If someone wants a website doing, I can show them all these templates that I've got that I downloaded when I was a member. So you could do that. So if you were umming and ahhing about it for the $19, it really is worth it. Maybe if you're charging someone else to do a website for them, it's good to have options on a template like that, like what this site provides, those sort of templates. So you might not like the reflex one that I've been doing, but I thought it was simple enough and up to date enough to use as an example to do this course. But there are lots of others on there, so it's worth giving it a go. So codeshare.co.uk/pixelarity, and to see the template that we've been working on, codeshare.co.uk/reflex. And that takes you straight to that demo of that template. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the series so far. As I say, I will do at least another episode on how I publish it, and maybe about the web configuration settings for the differences. I hope my client likes it. I say client, it's more of a favour than a job for this one. So yeah, hopefully Megan and Gavin like this site that I've done for them and that they enjoy using it. And if you're watching this in the future, then you might want to visit the site ilovelashes.co.uk, or there might be hyphens between the words, and you could actually see it live when they're actually using the site as well. So thanks for watching. Please click on like, subscribe to the channel, comment, share, and all of that. Thanks a lot. Bye.